I'd like to welcome everyone to Ignite the Spark. My name is Shar Packniak. I'm the CEO, founder of a program called Horizons for Girls. The work that we do, we're working with middle school and high school students from throughout Sheboygan County. We're trying to help them get engaged in their education and plan for their future. And we like to do that by what we call igniting a spark. When we're talking to a student, almost always they're giving you that look of glazed over, they're staring at you, they're really not listening, they just want to get it over with. They don't want to be a part of whatever is going on. But we continue to work with the students, and we do a variety of different things, a lot of field trips, a lot of job shadowing, a lot of community service. And we find that all of a sudden, something that we do grabs their attention. And I love when that happens, because we take whatever that is and we work with it and we build on it. And that's what we call igniting the spark. When I do this show every month, what I like to do is talk to different agencies, different businesses, different professionals that also might be involved with students that very often are called at risk. We happen to like to call them at promise, because they all have promise. And I'm very excited today to be able to introduce to you someone that I've known for a long time, and we won't say how long because that would age both of us, and we don't want that. But Lisa and I go back to, I think, probably the days when we were doing Smart Money.
Right.
And Lisa, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and what it is exactly that you're doing now.
Thank you, Shar. So I'm Lisa Arneson, and I work with Simplify. What Simplify is it's a bill-paying service for anybody and everybody. We're not income-based. We also offer other lines of service that are student loan counseling, money management and education, as well as VA fiduciary, so helping veterans with their VA funds that they may receive. So essentially what we do is help people manage money. Oftentimes people don't have a problem spending money. It's typically knowing how to save it, how to plan, to do, that's really what we say. I don't like using the term budgeting, but I feel a little bit more empowered if I say I want to make a plan for how I'm going to spend my money, because I feel psychologically that that's a little bit better than budgeting money.
Lisa, one of the things that really caught my attention was you mentioned something that you help veterans.
We do. So at Simplify, we are a VA fiduciary. So what that means is sometimes we have veterans who will receive income from the VA, but the VA states that they cannot handle their own money due to whatever issue the VA determines. Therefore, you have to have an agency that is appointed as a VA fiduciary. Our organization is one that we can handle any veterans' finances, pay all of their rent, their utilities, their monthly living expenses, and then every week give them so much money to live off of.
Oh, that is just so neat. I didn't realize that. Now, where are you located?
So we're located at 529 Ontario Avenue inside Jake's Cafe.
That to me, the Jake's Cafe setting is a perfect setting for a new business, a new agency, setting up what they're going to be doing. That to me is it's an incubator, I guess. So I think that's even what they call it. because that is just so supportive to get something started.
It is. We're very blessed to be where we're at. We have access to so many different partners and relationships. We have clients that come in and need some legal help. Well, we have referrals that we can make right there inside the building. Same thing might be with an accountant, or maybe somebody who is going through an insurance issue or needing some advice as far as stocks. Just a variety of different topics that we've formed relationships with. So you can refer them right there on site.
That is really neat. Now tell me a little bit, you've got a partner that works with you?
I do. So a colleague, my colleague is Tammy Harris, and she has been in the nonprofit industry for 16 years. And she used to be with Family Service, and prior to that she worked for the Humane Society. So she helped start Simplify with me as well.
It's got to be exciting to be able to reach out and help people with what can be a very confusing topic. I mean, when I'm working with students, and as we're talking, I think that's something I'd love to have you come in and talk to the girls a little bit more about is budget and living expenses. And I mean, they can't wait to move out of the house. And it's like, well, wait a minute, stop. I mean, that's a great wish, but you've got to have your plan together. You've got to know what you're going to be doing. And that definitely is not always the easiest thing.
I would agree. And I look back, so it might, every year it gets a little bit longer since I was closer to their age. But in with that, I look back at, when I was 18, 19 years old, and probably a few times before that I just wanted to be on my own. I just wanted to do it and try it. And it's so hard hearing adults tell us that you don't know how good you have it yet. Or, there's a lot of sayings that we've all heard over the years. But I think it can be done if you put together a plan. And, if you have no roadmap as to where you're going, you're not going to get very far. But if you know where you want to be and you're willing to sit down with somebody to help you navigate that and take baby steps so you feel like you're accomplishing things to be able to get you to where you want to be, that's the way to do it. So we oftentimes will go and speak with students. It might be in regards to student loans. For some students, it may not make sense for them to go on to school, and that's okay. But then what's your plan? What are you going to do? Sometimes it does make sense for somebody to go onto school, but how many loans does it make sense for them to take out? Can they get grants? Is there a way that they could maybe pay for school and not have to take out as many loans? And then we take a look at what loans make sense to take out. What are the repayment options on all of these loans? Because at some point they will come due. And then are we going to be able to afford to pay them back? We also take a look at what kind of area of study are you interested in going in? And not how many people have graduated in that area of study, but how many people have actually found jobs in that same area of study to make sure that that's really someplace that they can gainfully get employment and make money.
And those are all tough decisions, and that's something that we're constantly working with the students, is just taking those baby steps and setting some goals. And, it's fun when I'm working with a student and all of a sudden they go, oh, that looks interesting, but I could never do that. And it's like, wait a minute. Let's never say never. That's been my saying all along. It's never say never. Let's look at options. I look at a young lady. In fact, she's been out of the program now for 2 years. And originally, she talks about the fact that she wasn't expected to graduate from high school. She was going to get married and have babies. That was her culture. And she graduated from high school, and that was a great celebration. Then she went on to AmeriCorps, and that was exciting to get that experience of traveling across the country. And I met with her on Sunday for a few minutes, And we were talking, and she says, I'm going to see if I can get back into AmeriCorps again because I really learned so much from doing that. She is going to Martin School of Hair Design so that she can earn money, but then she's looking at college after that. So she's looking at the fact that there are steps into becoming what you hope to become. And that's exciting when you can see somebody taking those baby steps and having that success along the way. That's really exciting.
Absolutely, and I love the fact that she's looking at going to Martin's now so that she can go to college later. So she's putting a plan in place to have employment while going to school and securing an income. I think the days have gone away where you can just go to school and not have to work. You know, things are expensive, and to go through and not have to have any money of your own and to just get a loan for everything you think you might need, you're going to end up in a really tough situation come graduation if you make it that far.
Yeah. Well, and she milks cows third shift. So, I mean, I look at this young lady, I'm going, oh my God, that's exciting. And she talks about the fact that wasn't expected, that she would be able to get that far. So when she can say, I've done it and I've gotten this far and I'm going to keep going, that to me is just powerful.
I would agree. And those expectations, what is an expectation anymore? You set your own destiny. So there isn't anything. I remember my daughter this year, she'll graduate from Ideas, and she says, I don't think that I can go on to school because I don't think I can afford it. And that just crushed me. Nobody should not go on to school because they think they can't afford it. You got to get yourself in the mindset of, what am I passionate about? What do I really care about? Where can I be put and then excel in that area? Because wherever your deep passion lies, you can do anything you want to do.
Yeah, I love taking that passion, and that's that spark that we love to work with. I mean, I'm looking at another young lady that she just got done job shadowing about a month ago, a dog trainer. She absolutely loved it, and she is looking at the fact that she needs a service dog for her handicap, and the lady that does the dog training said, let me help you get to that. So again, it's those contacts, it's that web of being able to look at different resources, different opportunities to help. And again, I'm sensing that's really what you even do with what you're not just saying, okay, let's pay your bills and get out of my office. You're saying, okay, what is it that we can do to help you take the next step into the future?
Absolutely. It's all about putting a plan in place and building that roadmap. And you're going to get bumps, and there's going to be turns and U-turns and Y-turns and every other turn out there. But that's what makes the success of it so rewarding. So, and to know that you have an organization such as Simplify available to help you go through those roadblocks and say, okay, so this is a minor hiccup. How do we get through this? That's really, going through difficulties, really where you learn.
Yeah, you really do. You take all of those things and you grow from them. That makes you what you are. I mean, certainly this is not what I thought I would be doing. I actually thought I was going to retire from radio. Well, yeah, that was a long, long time ago. And I've worked in nonprofit now for many years, and I absolutely love what I do in that area. Yeah. But again, it's that passion. A job is a job, and you can collect a paycheck, and you can have a great, fast car and a wonderful house. But if you don't love what you're doing, it just is not the same.
And I would agree. I was always told that I would never be able to be an executive director because of the simple fact that I don't have a college degree, and which I think is interesting. But I don't have a college degree, but I have experience, and above that, I have a lot of passion, and I just genuinely love what I do. So for people to tell me that I can't achieve something because I don't have something else, I think is ridiculous. I determine my own destiny and where I'm headed, and that's what I love about Horizons, is to be able to empower these girls to be able to see that as well.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
Again, to experience that opportunity. This weekend, we take the girls off on a retreat, and I've been meeting with parents, making sure we have details that we need to have, like medications or whatever, because they'll be with us for 3 days. And the parents might be saying, oh, vacation. But to us, it's a really incredible experience for both the mentors and the students. I mean, I talk to the mentors, and I can't believe, over and over, they say, oh, I can't believe how much fun I'm having, how much I'm gaining from working with these girls. So definitely the girls are gaining and learning and experiencing. But the mentors over and over are saying the same thing. Wow, the stuff that I've learned. And I think both you and I would agree, because again, I also do not have a college degree, but that didn't stop me either. It's like, okay, you take those experiences, and that makes you grow and become what you can become. It helps you get to that full potential, and that's exciting.
Absolutely.
So now tell me a little bit more. Demographically, let's talk a little bit more. Who would you say is there a typical customer, a typical client?
Well, we have two lines of service that I would say we typically see people that absolutely have to have someone pay their bills. And then we also see another side of people that they don't have to have somebody, but they don't really have the time or the desire to sit down and go through all of their debts. Now, in the education side, we teach financial literacy courses to the general public. So that can go anywhere from elementary students to anyone that might be interested in handling money. That's where it gets very interesting when working with students, because a lot of our students today have seen either mom or dad or grandma and grandpa go through a really rough financial time. It might have been bankruptcy, it might have been foreclosure, it might have been a car repo. You know, back in 2008 and 9, when we had a pretty rough foreclosure rate in our community, a lot of families went through some really trying times. So students now are more open to receiving information when it comes to finances, because they know they don't want to go through what their parents have been through.
And that's interesting, because even though I did not necessarily witness it, I remember my parents talking about it all the time, because they went through the Depression. And I remember, yes, my parents had a business, and yes, they put money in the bank, but they also hid money in many places in the house. And I think back to that, and that was, I think, because of going through something like that Great Depression. So that's kind of scary to go through that.
Absolutely. In 2009, in Sheboygan County, we were at about 50 households per month that were foreclosed on. So if you can imagine the family impact of the dynamics that would all be played into that, you know, many kids growing up, they hear this stuff at school because their friend might be going through their friend's family might be going through some rough financial time, and kids get worried about these certain things. I too remember my grandparents used to take metal piping and bury money in piping and bury the piping in the backyard. And it was just their way of life to ensure that nothing bad was going to happen to them. I hope we don't have to go through anything like that again, but the idea that students are more open to learning and making sure that they're making proper financial decisions and choices now, I think is really liberating, and that we have a good opportunity to get them a lot of the information that they're looking for.
Well, I think that once they've got that basic information, I look at the entrepreneurship that's going on, and that's huge. I mean, I look at so many new businesses that start up, and I think if they've got that good background, that financial literacy, that's going to help them make some incredibly good decisions to create a business that could, who knows?
Absolutely. Not being funded, properly funded, is obviously a big reason why a lot of businesses fail. Well, in order to get to that point, you first got to make sure you're taking care of home, which means yourself. So the more that people focus in on knowing that their homeland is okay, that their credit score is where it can possibly be, that they have enough revenue coming in to be able to make their business afloat, the better stabilized the community can be because of these potential entrepreneurs that we have, which again, I think is fabulous as well. That's what really is going to drive an economy.
And again, then you start to look at things like healthcare costs, and you start to look at retirement and that healthcare when you're retired, and assisted living and those medical costs, and do you need to go into a nursing home? And I think of my parents who sold their business, and they thought they would have it set forever. Mm-hmm. And they sold their business for, back then, $250,000, and they thought, no problem. Well, guess what? That did not last, and that's unfortunate. So you really need to be prepared for those kind of circumstances.
Absolutely, and not knowing what will happen with Social Security, the best thing you can do, and people have said this for years, is pay yourself first. But if you get in the habit of doing that while you're young, you never seem to miss it. You have direct deposit. Most employers offer that now. Take a certain amount, 10% is ideal, and put it in that separate account so you never miss it coming off of your paycheck, and be disciplined enough to always do that.
Yeah, critical points. Anything special coming up that you can think of that you want to make sure that you tell our viewers about?
The biggest thing is just to know that we're out there. At Simplify, another service that we do offer is oftentimes we see families who are trying to help their parents manage their finances, and possibly trying to help their adult children manage their finances as well. That's another area that we specialize in. So we can come in and help manage the finances for the family so that they can keep their relationship intact.
And I think that's what very often can break up a family, is that whole financial arguments. I mean, I can think of many of those in many different settings. And it's like, wow.
Certainly.
So that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Quick thing I'm thinking of now as you and I are talking, make sure that you're watching the website for Horizons for Girls. We've got some exciting things coming up. I know that we have a booth at the farmers market. We'll be out at Fountain Park for the craft days. The girls have several crafts that they've been working on. And I know one of our students is saving money. She wants to be going to Disney in Florida. I think next year already. She is going to be part of a group performing there, so she's saving money for that. So we're helping her with that at the farmers market. And of course, as you've heard me talking about mentors, oh my gosh, we'd be lost without our mentors, absolutely critical. So always look at the website and look at that opportunity, and you'd be surprised. Our mentors, actually have some great mentors right now that some of them work with me twice a week, some are once a week, and I've got 2 mentors that are only with me once a month. That's fine. Whatever time commitment you've got available, definitely those mentors become absolutely vital to, as I call it, igniting the spark. That becomes just totally critical and inspiring, you know. And again, look at you and I say, okay, college, yes, definitely something you can strive for. Don't ever, ever let anybody say, no, you can't do it. Anything's possible, so definitely visit the website and please ignite a spark somewhere, whatever it is you're doing. Say hi to a kid, ask a kid how they're doing in school, tell them you care. That's absolutely critical. But I want to thank you, Lisa, for joining me today. And definitely, I hope there's more projects in the future and I'm sure there's going to be. But I think that you and I definitely have a passion for helping other people, and I think that's going to continue in whatever it is we are going to be doing. Congratulations on the new agency. I'm excited to see that happening. Thank you very much for being with me today.
Thank you.